You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's America's Next Top Model After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's America's Next Top Model After Show.
What's up, Top Model fans? Bing is for doing, and we are doing a recap of America's Next Top Model Season 20, Episode 8, The Guy Who Cries. And let's get right into it, guys. First of all, we have the one, the only Mike Scocozza with us today.
Woohoo. Hi. I feel lucky I get all three ladies here today.
Thank you. We're lucky.
We're lucky.
Yes.
So Mike is part of this season's cast, for those of you who aren't up to speed, and he is one of the first male models on the show. And give everyone else a little bit of an update on what you've been doing since you have had to go home.
Let's see. I've been actually back working on the ice cream truck a little bit.
Yes.
So if you're in LA, check out Cool House, Coolhaus. You might find me randomly selling some ice cream. I was actually at a high school on Friday night, and it was a little nutty.
Oh,
I will say that.
Were the girls going nuts?
A little bit, yeah.
There's a long line,
I had to
line
kind
than
of
normal.
barricade myself in the truck a little bit, but
I mean,
it was
you
fun.
plus ice cream, heaven.
Yeah, so I've been back on the truck. You know, in the meantime, I've actually been doing a lot of different test shoots, meeting with a lot of different photographers, and just kind of honing my skills, you know?
Awesome, awesome. So we come right into the episode with all this crazy drama in the house. Of course, it's centered around Chris H. again. He is saying, oh yeah, I'll play it cool, I'll play it cool. And then what does Marvin do? He starts this, like, instigates this argument with Chris. They start fighting about who looks better. Marvin's, like, in this argument holding a hula hoop. I mean, doesn't seem too masculine, but what did you guys think about all that?
Well, I want to know first what Mike has to say, since
Yes,
obviously...
please.
Me? I wasn't there.
What do you think about, not just the argument, just them themselves, like your interaction with them? You were there, you know, 24 hours a day with these guys. Tell us a little bit about them from your perspective.
Really? Okay. I mean...
Yes, of course. We got the inside scoop here.
All right. No, I'll start with Marv. Marv and I actually didn't talk that much early on, especially because he kind of had a little thing for Bianca, and of course that didn't end up too well with him. She ended up with me. But afterwards, we kind of got to know each other more, and he's just such a genuinely good, sweet dude. Love Marv to death. He cried his eyes out on the show. I think he cries every single episode.
Right.
But yeah, he's a sweetheart, genuine dude. We actually kick it a lot because he lives in LA now. Him and Don are good buds. So the three of us hang a lot, and then actually Jeremy comes up a lot from Orange County. And the four of us kind of, you know, we kick it. So it's fun. It's cool having a good little crew out here in LA. So I like Marv. Chris, I don't have the best things to say about Chris. I don't want to get into it too much. You know, he was someone for me that when he was on the show, I felt like he played a certain role, and he kind of embraced that role.
The villain?
Yeah. I think he kind of had a strategy going into it, saying, this is what I'm going to be, and this is what I'm going to do, so I'm going to create things that cause drama and stir up the pot, and of course, you know, the producers love that, and he knows that. So, you know, it's working for him. He's still there. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a good model. Like, I've never bashed his modeling there, but I'm saying as a person, not my favorite person. I think he put on a bit of an act the whole time he was there.
Do you think that maybe he was trying to instigate all the drama to make sure he stuck around a long time?
Oh yeah, he was always instigating things about the smallest thing. I don't actually remember how that fight even started.
It doesn't even look like it was about anything. Marvin was just saying, "Oh, you have acne."
I heard there were a few other burns in there that were really good that didn't make it on the air. Yeah, but I heard Marv pulled out some good ones. But,
But it started off with the whole scoreboard and being on the bottom. They both had a bad score, and that's how the fight instigated and started saying.
From the previous week.
No, it was actually from that week, the challenge that they had to do. The shopping challenge. To forward, actually to go back to the beginning of the episode, we actually see Marvin crying.
Yes.
And he's
Jeremy
sobbing,
left.
Over Jeremy and, the whole situation. And I love Corey. I think
Corey.
He is
love
amazing.
Corey to death. Yeah.
The way he puts everything. He's like, this is still a competition. Basically man up, and eventually people have to go home. So are you more worried about the competition, or are you more worried about losing friends and having them go home when the show's over? You could still hang out.
Yeah, it's not like they're gone forever. They're still going to be able to hang out with you.
We still saw them a lot.
You can tell.
They're still doing the photo shoots, trying to make it back into the competition, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
They tried to keep. I don't know. They tried to keep us separated. The eliminated. The B squad, as I like to say. Actually, I gotta say the B squad was kind of since Cleo was the first girl and I was the first guy gone. Mm-hmm. Everyone else after that kind of became like our children. They would come in. They would come in from panel just crying, and Cleo and I would be there to kind of tell them, no, it's okay, it's okay. It's way more fun on this side anyway.
You're not pressure.
Yeah, so much less pressure. We would see them at the photo shoots. They wouldn't let us interact with each other, but we would try to sneak waves and hugs and glances and stuff. But it was funny because we would be there and they would just look so worn out and miserable and just tired, and they'd be like, oh yeah, there was another fight last night, and then the rest of us are just kicking it, we're having a good old time, we're telling jokes. It was a totally different vibe.
Oh my gosh, Joe, maybe your pictures are even better than the
it was definitely less pressure when you're off. I mean, you're still fighting to come back on.
Right.
And I believe the comeback episode is coming soon.
Ooh!
So we'll find out who comes back.
Scoop right here.
Yeah. But, there's the pressure's always there, but it's just you don't have all the other stresses, Being in the house, it's it's the weirdest feeling. Unless you do it, it's kind of hard to describe it.
Right.
Because it's you never know what's going to come next. So the entire time you just have a knot in your stomach, and you're just you're not eating right, you're not sleeping, you're worn out, you're stressed out. Everyone that you love, that you have support for the most part usually, you can't talk to. So it's it's a totally stressful environment.
And you're being videotaped 24/7, right? So you never know. I mean, you have to kind of, you can't. You feel like you're being watched all the time, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah,
that comes with a lot of stress. So let me get this straight. Once you're eliminated, you're put into a separate group in another house, but you're still a part of all of the challenges.
You're
still watching the challenges?
Yeah, starting last cycle 19, they brought in the social media element. So what they do is when they release the photos as we're doing them, and then fans have an opportunity to vote on them. Granted, this is all before. This is all while we're actually doing the process and actually filming it. So, and then when we're at panel, the fans vote. I think it's on each picture. It's a 1 to 10 scale. So you have to vote on each picture, I believe. I didn't do it because I was there, but from what they told me, that's what happened. And then, so you had your challenge score, your judges score, and then your social media score, which is the average score that everybody gave you from the photos that people voted on. So if, since we're filming the whole thing, if there was one less person after each photo shoot, you would know who was eliminated. You know what I mean? So everybody does every photo shoot, and then you have to watch to see who gets kicked off, who comes back. It's just a whole nother element to it.
Right, so they wouldn't know who was eliminated early, and they could vote on it without having seen anyone's personality.
Correct. Yeah, you really don't see much of us. There was one little 30-second video that they put online, and then the pictures. So it's funny because some of the people who were, I think, higher going into it, once the show aired and we saw kind of their personalities, I think it switched a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of a throw around. And the thing is, the show is pre-taped. So once it's done, you can't go back and vote. So it's already done. So I will say this. I know I keep talking about so much different stuff.
That's okay.
Cycle 21, they just announced is coming back. It's going to be guys and girls. So if you want, pay attention to the ANTM Twitter feed and Facebook page. And once they actually come up with the cast, they'll release those photos for Cycle 21 so you can vote on them. Because a lot of people are still asking, can we vote? Can we vote? all the voting's done. You have to do it while we're actually doing the photo shoots and filming everything.
So probably in the next month or so.
I really don't know the time schedule. I think it'll probably be sometime early next year is when it'll actually take place.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Well, I mean, I'm a little iffy about the whole social media score just because when you watch it when it's the bottom two, there's always like it's off by 2 points, by 10 points, and I'm like, really?
Like a
point? I'm sorry,
tenth of a point. Yeah.
Point something, and it's it's so dramatic.
Close.
It's so close and so dramatic. So I'm like sitting there wondering, okay, well, people vote. How accurate are these scores that they're putting up, and are they playing with the numbers to send certain people home?
That's a question for the producers.
So the social media score...
I can't answer that.
I'm curious.
No,
the social media score is just on the picture,
Just
right?
on the picture,
And they don't have a chance to go back and vote while they're watching the show and base it on their personality.
No.
Okay. It's
so it's just on the photos, the end result.
Right.
And but also I think the judges factor in maybe they kind of know the social media score and then they give them the judges' scores so they can kind of sway it a little bit. But
I'm told that they don't know anything, but that's what they tell us.
See, I'm just curious. That's good that you cleared that up. Thank you for clearing that up. They do not know anything going in.
Let's hope they don't.
Yes.
So that's more fair.
So the first challenge this episode, Kelly Catrone comes out and she talks to all the contestants on Melrose. And she says, oh, it's like this trendy shopping area, which it kind of is, but you sort of have to pick and choose the stores. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know that the stores that they showed had a large selection of really super trendy things. I mean, they even talked about it when they were judging the pieces, that the shoes looked a little strippery.
Well, if you know Melrose and you know the store they went into, that is kind of the market that they serve. So
it's like it's like club wear for girls and guys.
It's like very over the edge, and that one specific store where they got the shoes from is very over the edge. So it's boots, leather, and chains, and all of that stuff.
So what shoes are they supposed to pick? They didn't have a lot of
There's other stores.
Well, I don't think they're gonna go further down to Marc Jacobs. I don't think they're gonna find anything for $25 there.
Yeah, so. It had to be in a certain budget.
Yeah.
So Kelly Catrone asked the contestants all these questions. And depending on how many they got right, that's how much money they got to spend at these stores to go shopping. So the winner of this challenge gets a $2,000 gift certificate to this website. And I actually wrote it down, but my spell check changed it. So do you guys know what it was called?
It was...
I don't know if I wrote it down.
No, I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
I just remember $2,000.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it's a shopping website that it's a client of Kelly Catrone's, and I don't know about you guys, but I thought the questions were a little bit easy.
It was, and it was random at the same time.
Like, who is this? Is this Donatella Versace? It's like multiple choice.
I know.
Like, okay, that's Donatella Versace.
But for girls, probably. But I mean, I know a lot of guys who wouldn't know that.
Okay.
I know Donatella Versace. I mean, that's a pretty...
But like the question about what was banned in a Florida school, sagging,
I kind of guessed that one.
I mean,
because it was
that's a shot in the dark.
That's so random. Random.
Like, they said bandanas, wallet with a chain, saggy pants, or a crop top. I said ban all four, please.
In Texas, which is where I'm from, like I think all of those things are banned in high school.
Yeah, please, just make it all stop.
You have a firearm in your truck.
But you can bring your own,
Oh my God.
As long as you have a license.
At my high school, definitely we couldn't wear the crop tops.
Right. Or
that was
like spaghetti
already.
Straps. Anyway.
Did you have uniforms in high school?
I didn't.
I did.
I went to just a public school, but
I did.
Yeah, public school.
But you
I know some public
couldn't
schools
show
have
your
uniforms.
stomach as a girl at
No.
school. You couldn't do that.
Unless you were a cheerleader. We had like cheerleading tops that went up to like.
Wasn't there like
I was a cheerleader.
wasn't there like the thing
That's
that you wore
all.
underneath it though, so like couldn't see your belly?
That's for winter.
Oh yeah, that's true. We would wear like little
Oh, okay.
And then there was a question
And it was
about
away games.
Oh, yes. Okay, you're bringing back the memories.
You know, if you're in Texas and you're a cheerleader or a football player, you can get away with anything there.
Oh, okay.
We get the special privileges.
It's no different than LA.
So then there was a question about which model made the most money in 2012, and I wasn't so sure because I thought it was Giselle possibly, but I thought, well, 2012, she's already like...
I haven't really seen her do much in 2012,
but
so
maybe
it's questionable.
She's only done a couple of jobs, but the price that she demands is so high.
Oh yeah.
Did they include family income there? Maybe they're passing it off Tom a little
Tom
bit.
Brady.
I don't know.
But no, I mean, she deserves it. She's amazing. She's one of my favorite models of all time. But I thought it could have been Kate Moss, just because I've seen her a lot more lately for Rimmel London and Topshop and all that kind of stuff. But it was Giselle. And what were some of the other questions? It was...
Oh, who was the first America's Next Top Model winner?
I'm like...
I knew that one.
Come on, Adrian Curry.
Yeah.
The Brady Bunch guy that she married.
Yeah.
And are they divorced?
What was that?
They're divorced.
Yeah. Oh, are they? I don't know.
They had a whole reality show.
They had a show, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What was it?
My Fair Brady, wasn't it?
My Fair Brady. Oh, you missed that show.
I'll never get over the time he got pissed at her because she took pictures with another girl, like sexy pictures. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
What did you
Damn, son, what are you doing?
What did you, yeah. So,
ridiculous.
Who scored the highest on that quiz? I think it
was Renee.
Renee, yes. Renee did a really good job this week in everything.
She did. She's stepping up her game.
Yeah, so they had to go shopping, and I just thought it was cute that Jordan and Nina both picked a similar dress. It was like a little black dress. Nina kind of made it more hip and cool by putting the plaid shirt around it. But then, you know, the stylist that was helping Kelly judge who the winner of this challenge would be, that was Monica Rose, a celebrity stylist for the Kardashians, and Juliana Rancic. But I was like, oh no, the Kardashians. That's just my opinion. I'm not a fan of the Kardashians, but they are fashion icons in their own way. So I guess that's interesting to note.
They're definitely always dressed to impress.
That's true.
No matter
how you feel about them, they are always dressed to the nines. That's an old term, but I still like it. Phil, unfortunately, got $25.
Oh my god!
And he dressed like he only had $25.
I was like,
Poor
oh,
guy.
it reminded me of that song Thrift Shops, like $20 in my pocket. Come on, you can find something
I will
better than
say
that.
this, if fashion is about being who you are, that was kind of Phil.
Really?
I mean, that's Phil. I mean,
Do you think he cut up those leggings?
Oh, he
or were
did.
they-
Oh, yeah, he did.
He did?
He cuts everything, yeah.
He put on those women's leggings.
He's got to
and
make
cut
it his
them all
own.
up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that other challenge, he just cut off the sleeves off of a shirt.
Is
Yeah.
he as ADD as he's
Oh, it's
portrayed to
worse.
be?
Yeah, they actually toned him down on the show, I think.
Really?
Oh my
yeah.
God. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but I don't think they had to go shopping in their underwear. I mean, that was kind of fun to watch as a viewer.
But did you see
the
how
television
everyone was
aspect.
wearing matching like black underwear,
Like,
black bras?
They gave that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's not like the underwear that they wore that day.
Only Jordan had white, though.
She
She's
did?
like, I want white panties.
She had white underwear.
I didn't notice that.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, they were still the boy shorts, but they
she
were
was
white.
checking it out. Brooke,
I was going to say, I like Gianna's dress, though, actually, in that.
I did not.
I did.
I didn't think it fit her that well. It
No.
was kind of
Really?
loose.
It
loosey-goosey.
made her
Compared to
body.
it was the only thing that was interesting. Like, everybody else was so
It was a little
boring.
different, but I don't know. I'm a sucker for the bodycon black dress. They both looked
one
really
was-
good.
oh,
Nina and
right,
Jordan.
right.
I didn't like Jordan's or Nina's. I think it was too plain. They were playing it boring, simple,
Yes.
and the whole point of the contest was to, you know, find something sassy and fun,
Something
and that stood out. Black.
Oh,
I
yes.
know, but obviously they were limited, right? And, what they
No, you're. Are you kidding
Could
me?
they
Have you
have
been to
gone-
Melrose?
But
You are not.
I thought they could only go to a couple of stores.
thought
Yeah, but
they only had, like,
there was
3
only like 4 or
stores
5 stores, and they only had so much money.
taking them.
Yeah,
That
so
were like
I
they
had
could
to
go
But
to.
I'm sure they
Those
could have.
ATM dollars only work so many places. you
Right,
gotta-
exactly.
They were, like,
That's what I noticed.
cash.
They were at a lot of the same stores, so I don't think it was like every single store on Melrose. Regardless, yeah, why would you choose black if, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but Don won in all black.
Yeah,
Don won.
okay,
Don won
Don-
because of those eyes.
Exactly.
he was like,
He was like,
"Hey,
I'm gonna
Monica
put this and
Rose,
let's see if it works.
watch out for these eyes. I'm gonna hypnotize
Did he lay it on
you."
when he was here? Don's such a ladies' man.
No.
Those eyes.
He did a little
Oh,
bit,
yes.
a little bit. I think he was maybe looking at the camera more than us. I'm just kidding. No, I don't know if that's true.
Don,
I'm
you
just-
have to come back and prove us wrong.
Yes. No, we love his eyes. They're beautiful.
Killer eyes.
How can
Man's
you
got killer
debate
eyes,
that?
yeah.
Yes. Gorgeous.
I mean, at one point we were
But-
debating if it was real.
I actually wrote down these stores are awful. I'm sorry, but they didn't have a lot of good selection. But Kelly Catron made it known that she hates rolled up pants on men. She just was like, I outright hate it. So like, Marvin's being judged. He starts rolling down his pants, and Chris in the background hasn't gotten judged yet. He starts rolling down his pants too. He's like, oh, wait a minute. But I thought that was kind of smart.
I did the same thing.
Yeah,
Shit.
it's
But I
smart.
think that might have triggered the whole fight.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah.
What, that they were both rolling down their pants?
No, that Chris took advantage of the judging, and they were judging Marvin, so he started rolling down his pants so he doesn't get the same critique when he goes up.
Right. Okay.
So Don is the ultimate winner of that shopping challenge, and with his eyes, yes.
And tattoos.
So he gets to choose 2 people to go with him for his prize to get ice cream, which is kind of a random prize.
That was
like, you guys go shopping in your underwear and then pick some outfits, and okay, the winner gets to go have ice cream. I guess they just decided that because
they are models, so they don't get to eat them.
Yeah, like you can't really have ice cream most of the time, so here you go, have some ice cream. It's like, is this a prize or a trick? But Don takes Marvin and Renee to go for ice cream. So I guess Don and Marvin are still buddies, like you're saying. And then I guess Renee, I don't know, was Don, I think they're just buddies, right?
I think Don was just trying to help out Marvin.
Yeah, Marvin has a thing for Renee.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did that go?
Marvin has a thing for everyone.
Poor Marvin. He seems like such a sweet guy with a really big heart, but at the same time, like, I'm like, he's very naive or something. Did you hear the one quote he said? He's like, now my friends are gone, like, who am I going to have to play with? That's what he said. I was like, what?
He really had real tears.
I know.
I mean, it was kind of endearing, though. He really does care about
Who
his
came
friends.
up with the nickname Starvin' Marvin?
Who coined that term?
I don't.
Wait, someone calls him that, or you mean in general?
No, we all called him that when we were there.
And I'm guessing that has to do with women?
Yeah, he's thirsty.
Okay.
He's starving, yeah.
Okay.
He can't get it. Yeah. Sorry, Mark.
That was
I love you, buddy.
Marvin and other people that we've talked to have confirmed that he was just trying so hard to get with any girl.
It was just kind of comical at a point, you know?
Yeah, and it's like, you don't want to be that one girl that says yes after all the girls said no. I mean, there's still time to be had. Marvin is a nice kid. He seems really sweet.
He's a great kid. Yeah,
Marvin.
Cut back the tears a little bit.
I'm sure he's not going to have any trouble once this is all said and done.
He's doing fine. I haven't seen him cry since the show either, so maybe he's toughened up a little bit.
Is he like 19?
Actually, he was 20. I think he turns 21 very coming up here soon. We were talking about a birthday party, a 21st birthday party. So,
wow.
Okay.
Could be fun.
Take him to Vegas.
We did Vegas about a month ago, and it was a blast.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Gianna and Phil are actually the bottom scorers after that shopping challenge on Melrose, which with Phil's outfit, I'm not surprised. And they were saying, Phil, this is not a comedy show, but I think he's great. It's funny. I like watching Phil. It makes the show more
Phil's
exciting.
life is a comedy show.
Yeah.
He is interesting.
I hope Phil gets a spin-off show. I would watch that.
Jesus.
Yes, the Jesus
Baby
hair.
Jesus.
Baby Jesus.
Oh my gosh. But they, they're starting to feel like, oh my God, what's going to happen to us? Especially Gianna. She's been in the bottom for a couple of challenges, so she's been really scared, and I can understand that feeling, feeling like you're trying your best. And she really is, and just like not working out for her. And you did like her dress that she chose.
I liked it, but whatever.
So
I think she added some color to it, versus Jordan. She was a little bit too boring for me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so they actually go to this art gallery that it's called the Lamarck Art Gallery. I've never heard of this place, and I wonder if it's like invented for the show. I'm like, is this an art gallery that they made at like Smashbox Studios? No, of course not. Hey, but it's cool. I like this photo shoot. Tyra Banks has been tweeting this out recently that she did a shoot sort of.
It's a real exhibition. It's Tyra 15, and she's showing it at art galleries throughout the country. It's it's a really cool thing.
So they might have just set it up in one location here in LA or whatever, but
to start the exhibit. Okay. Well, all right. I feel it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it was just in New York for Fashion Week. I don't know where it's going next, but it's going to be around. It's pretty cool.
I like the images. I think it's cool. It could have gone almost in a different direction of being like insulting to some of these, but thank goodness it wasn't.
But it's Tyra.
Tyra knew what she was doing. And luckily, the shots she did of Cindy Crawford was incredible, and Cindy Crawford tweeted that she loved it.
Yeah, like some of them, like we looked at it and we didn't even realize that it was Tyra at first, because like you're like, oh my God, and they're like, oh shit, it's Tyra.
Didn't she say it wasn't photoshopped?
Yeah, like none of it.
And so it's all created with lighting and makeup, and the clothes, and like wigs and hair pieces. Yeah. And the shot of her is amazing. I hope I pronounced this right. Cara Delevingne. Am I saying that right?
I know. It looks like Delvigny, but I know that's not how it's
Delvine, Cara Delvine. That supermodel that's right now very popular, the blonde. I mean, she really looked like her. It was incredible.
Of Iman too. I don't know.
Oh yes,
that she really looked like her too.
That was my favorite. And they're like, why? She did that like a couple of years ago. Like, why isn't that the exhibit?
I don't know.
But it was amazing, and I was just really impressed. And at first I was like, oh no, Tyra being all these other supermodels, is this going to be great or terrible? But thank God it was great.
Yeah.
I loved it. How did you guys feel? Did you feel like...
No, I thought it was cool. I wish they showed more. I guess you can probably go onto the website and see all of them.
Yeah.
But they just showed like a handful. I would have liked to have gone through the whole exhibit. But it's obviously about the other models. I thought that it was going to... correlate to the models dressing up as other models too.
Oh, you thought that was going to be
integrated. Where that was going, and I actually wish they would have done that.
Me too.
Because that and then painting and paint being thrown at you, it just didn't correlate.
Yeah. That was like a far stretch. Okay, now we're just going to throw paint on you. Here's an art exhibit. Now we're throwing paint on you.
Now you're going to be living art.
Saving that for later on. Yeah. The more challenging.
But I did like the paint slashing. It was cool to watch.
And when they first talked about living art, I instantly thought of like all those presentation shows that you do where you like stand still for like 4 hours. And it's fine, usually the designers that have done that a few times, they'll have the models out for like an hour and then have half of them change and then like come back. So at least they're showing different pieces. But I've done some of those shows where I have seen a girl pass out, like literally faint.
Oh my gosh.
We were doing a fur show in the Guggenheim in New York.
Oh my God.
Little like dresses, but with furs. And one girl, like we were all in a line on a stage, and one girl literally just passed out. I saw it starting to happen. She just fell. And I actually like felt like I was going to pass out. So I like very confidently did like a runway walk off the stage, trying to make it look like it was planned, because then I really had to sit down and drink some water and eat something. We were all feeling it.
Was it just because the furs were hot and overwhelming?
And it was in the wintertime, but
the light.
It was heated and lit, to be comfortable, so it wasn't... It would have been better if we were outside, actually.
There was a model who fainted maybe once or twice on the show, America's Next Top Model, like during judging or something.
Yeah. Well, we're up there for a long time.
Yes.
Like they don't...
Does that take like 5 or 6 hours to do?
Because it's like... We go up, they call every single person down, and like the stuff that they show is only a very small amount of the feedback and the critique that they do. I mean, each person, they spend a good, I don't know, probably like 5, 6, 7 minutes on each person. So especially early on when you have 15, 16 people, and then, something happens, they need to fix, either change the tape or, do something.
If it's 10 minutes on each person, that's... well over 2 hours.
Yeah, we're up there a couple hours. We would have to actually take short breaks because sometimes people would just be like, I'm gonna lose it.
I need to sit down for a while.
Yeah. Plus, it's like panels. You're just like terrified up there, so you're just like,
your heart's pounding. So of course it makes you hotter anyway. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the pressure. But they decide that it's not going to be what I thought it was, where you stand there in clothes. It is living art where they're actually draped in what looks like sheets. Like Greek
sheets?
It was sheets.
It was?
Sheets.
It was in diapers?
Oh, I was right. I thought it was sheets.
It was sheets rolled into diapers.
Yeah, made into like a Greek statue sort of look.
Yeah.
Which was actually beautiful. I liked the clothes. I thought it was pretty. The sheets that were clothes, yeah. The way they were covered up, it was very flattering. And then someone had a bucket off to the side and they dumped the paint right on them.
Did you lose your balance any of the times they threw the paint
a little
at
bit,
you?
because the paint would be on the ground and they try to like mop it up after each person, but it got like kind of slippery on the floor. So you had to be careful because if you because they wanted like some sort of movement, like some kind of action, you know what I mean? So it's not, they didn't want the paint just hitting you flat. They want you coming into the paint.
Yeah.
So you had to do something. So you had to be careful.
I have a couple questions for you about that. First of all, it wouldn't have been actual paint, right? Because that wouldn't be
it was
safe.
paint.
Real paint?
Yeah.
In your face?
Yeah. It was water-based paint.
Yeah,
it wasn't lead-based paint.
Actually,
that was one of the more fun shoots that we did. I loved it. It was a blast. I mean, when are you like half naked having paint thrown?
Yeah, that's got to be a cool shot for your book too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I liked how they made it look like it was moving.
Yeah, the idea of the flixel with the paint.
I love that.
It worked really well.
Beautiful.
That time. Yeah.
And I also want to know, I don't know if you can speak on this or not, but the B squad, as you put it, did they shoot after the people that were still on the show, or in between, or beforehand?
I can't
What
say.
was the order? Okay, you can't say. That's fair.
Because people try to dissect things and like figure out when people are kicked off, and
So that,
but it's not as simple as you think it is. I'll just say that.
Okay.
They're smart. They're smart about it.
But were you guys able to see the A squad? Take pictures? Were you guys in the same room, or was that separate?
No, we were in
well?
separate like holding areas.
Okay.
Yeah, they really didn't want us
yeah.
interacting with them at all.
Right.
Because we, so like,
'Cause
so when
you
somebody
guys-
would get kicked off, we'd
Yeah.
kind of get like the rundown of like what happened since we were gone. You know what I mean? They'd fill everybody in. So like, so even like watching the show now, it's like I kind of know what happened when I wasn't there, but like I'm still seeing it. So to me, I actually think it's hilarious. I'm like, oh my god, this is great.
And so when you were kicked off and you're in this different area, do you guys have access to the internet and stuff after you're kicked off?
Nothing. No,
You're still sequestered?
Completely sequestered.
Even after you've been
the
eliminated?
entire
So no,
time.
you can't call your
Wow.
family members, nothing like that.
No, we still applied to the same schedule that like the house was on. So it was basically once, maybe every other week, we got some phone time.
time.
So we
Okay.
still applied to the same thing applied to us as.
So you still couldn't go on like Twitter and stuff like that?
No.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, when Jeremy was eliminated, he went over to the other house with you. Were you guys still working out and keeping your regime?
Yeah,
5 in the morning.
Working out in the show was difficult. Like it's no offense, but it's different with women. Like if I don't eat a lot and if I don't consistently work out, I just shrink. So
Right.
when I came back from the show, like my friends were like, "You look so much smaller." Like I lost so much size because you just couldn't. There's only so many push-ups and sit-ups that you can do. You really need to.
You need to have weight.
I need to wait. I need to train. You know. So
Yeah.
it was kind of frustrating to be in a house at a show about modeling and looking good when we can't even do what we need to do to look good. So
They had like
it was frustrating.
You should
couple
mention that to
treadmills.
them. They
We
need,
did
they
it
need
every
like
day.
weight
We did every
training.
day, yeah.
Yeah, a weight room.
they're like,
Yeah.
"Can I lift your camera for you?"
Yeah. At one point we started like there was like these stools and we would do like squats with the stools on us and like
Really?
anything that we could do that would like be some sort of resistance, you know?
Okay. So
Yeah,
you
it
were trying
was
to get
rough.
creative with it.
Yeah,
but-
you had to. It's what you
Yeah.
had to do.
Ooh, what a
That's
challenge.
interesting.
So it'll be interesting to see in a few weeks if the guys keep shrinking.
Yeah, really.
And I wonder what did the girls have any trouble with that, or because I know that kind of schedule, if you don't get a lot of sleep, sometimes it's harder to stay really small.
It was funny because I was there and I'm like watching the girls and none of them ever worked out at all and they all ate like crap.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they just ate candy
Genetics.
and pasta all
Amanda,
day.
that's how you stay so thin, right?
Not exactly.
But again, they're all like 18, 19 years
Yeah,
old.
exactly.
Wait a couple years and their
Exactly.
metabolism will
yeah, it's not going to be the
change.
same. They're going to be on that
Yeah.
treadmill every day.
I'm very in touch with what my body needs to do at this point.
You were the oldest contestant, right?
I'm the oldest contestant in the history of the show, the tallest in the history of the
Wow.
show, and I think actually the best looking in the history of the show.
Hey, we'll give it to you, Mike.
We will not.
Wait, so how old are you and how tall are you?
I'm 27,
Okay.
and I am 6'4". Roughly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, of course, they
it's
never
different
had
'cause-
men,
yes.
so there wouldn't
Yeah.
really
Right,
be a
right,
girl
right.
that was like 6'4".
we'll have to see what happens next cycle, but
Is Jordan 6 feet?
Jordan is a very tall girl.
How tall is she?
I would say she's 6 foot. Yeah, pretty close. She's just got
Yeah.
legs for days.
Girl, I love Jordan. I don't understand why everyone was so
I don't either.
angry with her.
I
I don't
nothing
get
wrong
it.
with
Well,
Jordan.
she's gotten a little bit more humble about,
Yeah.
being on the show and her challenges, and I think we're getting less and less of her story, her personal story, which
She
is,
throws that in a lot still, but what I didn't like, the only thing I didn't like was how she would like tell Jeremy like, "Oh my gosh, why are you so obsessed with me? Like you're just, there's
Yeah,
times
she
it
definitely
was
had a
like,
little thing
why
for
are you-
Jeremy.
But
why are
maybe
you-
nothing else was working. He kept coming after her and coming after her. He's like,
Actually,
trying to her.
I
She
have
has a
to.
boyfriend.
I have to step up for Jeremy.
Okay.
During my phone interview with
Yes,
him, we
yes.
did talk about that, and
Okay.
he did mention that a lot of the things that were said were joking and playful, but the way they edit and put the whole scene together
That makes
was
sense.
to blow it out of proportion.
Right.
But it wasn't anything to come on to her. It was just he was just joking and having fun, and she just blew up.
right, okay.
So
So this
Oh, so
living
she was
this-
actually blowing up.
This
so.
living art
Yeah.
with the paint being thrown at them. Ito is the photographer. Johnny Wuchek and Tyra tell them all about the challenge. So they just, they've been told a little bit about how to pose and kind of lean into the paint, as you said. So, yeah, you already said that it was actually real paint, water-based paint.
Yes.
But
it's so hard when, like, literally they're like, okay, you got to look, because they want a kind of strong poses. You know, it's kind of Greek goddess kind of vibe. So like all right, you got to look strong and fierce, but you got to hold very still and don't move when somebody throws something at you. It goes against everything
that your body is supposed to do.
Yeah,
to react.
Like you see the guy out of the corner of your eye, and you know it's coming. You're like, he's gonna throw that fucking paint on me.
Oh!
And I'm just like, I gotta stand really still, and it's so hard because like something's literally, I mean, stuff will get in your eye, it went up your nose, and went in your ear, like. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
It was a mess. Like everybody was covered in paint for the next couple days.
That's what it looked like.
Do we have any of the pictures to put up?
I don't have them.
No?
Okay. Well, let's just say that each contestant had their own paint color. Every once in a while, someone had the same color as someone else, but it wasn't like they kept throwing different colors at them. So, for example, Marvin was green, Chris H was yellow, Jordan was orange, and so on and so on.
What color were you, Mike?
I was green.
Green?
Ooh, I like the green. Yeah. The green actually was flattering, I thought.
The green worked. I like the green.
Yeah, the yellow, not so much. And it wouldn't have been flattering on anyone.
I wasn't big on the purple. Purple was too dark, I thought.
Yeah.
Because it was like a black background.
I think the yellow would have worked on
like Renee.
Some of the other people.
Some darker
darker toned skin.
Yeah.
I love
that
the orange
really nice.
on Jordan.
So
that worked.
Beautiful.
Yellow on Chris does not work. We mentioned
with
that.
With the yellow hair,
no.
you know. I just thought it was like competing for attention. Too much yellow on one person. But he did have a really strong pose. I thought it was interesting that the photographer kept saying, your eyes, Chris, they're switching from strong to crazy eyes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, crazy eyes. And I didn't really think about it that much, but I looked at him in this episode. I'm like, his eyes do have that kind of look of crazy eyes. I'm not saying that he's necessarily crazy, but he had that look.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I think he was crazy eyes sometimes.
He was trying to concentrate, too much, and having everyone else look at you while, you're trying to do your photo, especially him and Marvin having that tension, just... the picture came out great, but during the whole shoot, he just looked like he didn't know what he was doing. He was trying every angle, every pose, every...
But at least he kept trying, and at least it did end up with a good result.
He did, yes.
He stuck in there.
I found it funny because every single guy that went up there to do that immediately does the, like, arms behind their head thing, and every single guy, Johnny was like, don't do that. Every single person does that. So it's funny that was the one that they used for him.
Okay.
With the arms up.
Maybe he went first. I don't know. I know one thing, that they are allowed to like show it in a different sequence than it actually would have been shot in, so I'm not sure what would have happened with that, but he could have been the first guy. But Marvin, they show him like how he can't really focus on it. He kept closing his eyes, but as you said, I mean, that's a natural instinct.
Yeah. I mean, I think almost everybody closed their eyes. Like it's hard.
And they try to play up the drama between the contestants as, like, this is the reason they're faltering. But, like, given the situation, it's,
I think everyone probably blinked once or twice during their shoot.
And I got some of the scoop from from some of the contestants saying that some of the scenes that we see is actually after or before. But the way they show it to us, it's like in order that they want us to get, drawn into the drama and into what's going on. So remember how we were talking about the bath episode?
Yes.
And how they ended up
all
back
in the bathtub together?
In the bathtub. Well, actually, they had to go back in there.
And refilm it.
And refilm it to create the whole episode.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wait, the bathtub, the girls?
Yeah, last week we thought it looked very staged because, I mean, come on, how often are you staying with a bunch of people in a house and like 3 girls just randomly decide to get in the bathtub together?
Yeah.
What do you mean? That happened all the time. Actually, it happened more with the guys who would just kick it in the bathtub, but they didn't show that.
Oh, are you serious? No, I don't think so.
How many times did you guys use the girls' restroom or the shower?
I never used the girls' shower. The only thing was with the girls' restroom, they had like a private toilet, and that was literally the only place where I don't think there was a camera. Because even in like the guys' rooms, it was very open, so there was a camera. It wasn't necessarily in the bathroom, but it would catch part of the bathroom. You know what I mean?
So you didn't feel comfortable.
Oh no, I did. But every once in a while, if there's a bunch of people in the house,
you forget.
If there's people in both of them, like, well, sorry, girls, I gotta go use your. I gotta
but I'm sure
do
you
some
would just
business
ask
here.
permission, you know.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because this episode, it's a big deal with Chris going
Well, no,
into
the guys
shower.
never showered in the girls' shower. We have 2 showers. Like there was no reason for us to go in the girls' shower.
And he blames it on the fact that the guys are in the shower and they're using up the shower when Jordan goes out and Renee the guys are sitting around the counter, just eating and hanging out, and no one's using their shower. And
the girls hadn't had a chance to shower yet because they still had paint all over. Like, wouldn't you be a gentleman and let the girls shower first?
So do you know any of the dirt on that? Did you hear anything about, that whole thing, why he would have just gone and used the girls?
No. I just saw that when it happened on the show. Nobody brought that up earlier.
But maybe...
I wonder if the producers made him do it.
Or maybe maybe it wasn't as big of a deal as they made it look.
I just think, if I have paint in my hair and I need to use a shower, I'm going to make a big deal.
The girls are pretty territorial about their bathroom.
Yeah. So maybe that was an invasion.
Especially, Gianna, where she doesn't like paint in certain places.
Yeah, she's like, I don't like feeling sticky on my body. I'm like, girl, do you wear sunscreen? Because, anyway, side note.
I was going to say, I just think that's Chris's... I think that he lacks a bit of, like, social awareness sometimes. Obviously, like, when he went up and, like, punched these guys in the balls that time, and then sometimes stuff just comes out and he's just not socially aware. Some people are more socially and emotionally aware of themselves and what they're saying and how they're acting, and he's just not, and he doesn't think twice. And so he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna go use the shower, no big deal. The girls aren't in the shower yet. They're doing their own thing, and he doesn't think twice. And some people are more mature, and I just think that Chris is not there yet.
Maybe it just didn't occur to him that was wrong.
Exactly.
He just was like, whatever, I'm taking a shower.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense to me. If you've never done it, why would you do it all of a sudden when showers are free? It's not being used. Go use it there.
Yeah. I still think he should have let the girls go first. But,
anywho.
It was actually a pain. So I'm sorry, I keep thinking of all these like little things that nobody knows.
It's okay.
We want to know.
Please.
No, the showers were completely like open. Like they didn't even have like curtains on them.
Oh.
So when we would shower, water would just be everywhere. So,
right, there wasn't like a dividing.
So we would have to like put down towels and like soak up all the water from the floor. So there was always dirty towels everywhere.
Oh,
it was so gross. Did it
smell like musty?
It didn't get to that point, but yeah, it was a pain in the ass because you're just like, you're like trying to keep the water from like spraying everywhere.
That's on the guy's side though, right? Because didn't the girls have a glass panel?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but no, I mean the guys had it too, but there was still like a side that was open.
There was a portion that was open.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was only partially paneled off.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's like a European style.
Yeah.
For some reason they don't like.
I don't know.
I
kind of enjoyed just it was very liberating. You're just like whatever. I'm naked. We're showering.
It's all good.
Yeah, somebody be standing in the room and you're just having a conversation and I don't know.
So it's more like a locker room style.
Kind of, yeah. I don't know. I'm used to it. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was interesting how Marvin's sitting there trying to wait for the water to like warm up, and he's just standing there.
Oh yeah, the water was never warm. Also.
Oh.
What?
We ran out of hot water a lot. Yeah.
Really?
So you had to suffer with like cold showers.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Chris was telling the truth.
Right, when he said it took like 7 minutes for the water to get
okay,
yeah, but they run off the same
I believe it.
Water supply.
Yeah, the water heater.
Yeah.
So Phil and Don are trying to cheer up Marvin. He's like sitting there testing the water. Like they're all like waiting for the shower.
I like Phil, he's like trying to see through the glass.
Yeah. They're just like, okay, Marvin, just cheer up, dude. It's going to be all right. What were they saying to him? I just thought it was so funny, though, that it was all happening while they were waiting for the water to warm up.
Basically, you know, that it's going to be fine and that they're still, you know, there for him. And
yeah.
I don't remember hearing his backstory or, you know, what happened. Was he abandoned as a child?
Marvin grew up in the Bronx with, I think,
his seven or eight
brothers and sisters
yeah.
in a one-bedroom. And his dad worked as a janitor, and he was like embarrassed to be dropped off at his building, so he would get off on a different bus stop and go into like a different building just so his friends wouldn't know.
I think Marvin's from that like typical Latino culture, which I'm Latina, so where there's like a ton of family and you're all together and you're just really close and family is everything and you have this bond and, you know, it takes forever for the kids to move out of the house. And so he probably has the issue where, you know, he gets really close to people and then he kind of gets a little codependent, maybe sort of. Yeah. And so then when someone's gone, he feels like, oh my gosh, what do I do? You know, he's just used to like having.
Yeah, I mean, the guys really kind of like rallied around each other for the most. I mean, it's a competition. Yeah, you're always competing, but it's just like, you know, it's like you don't want to. I don't know. Like I think for the most part, they were genuinely good people on the show. So like you don't want to see somebody upset. Like you know. Yeah,
and I feel like guys are easier to like hang out with as a group versus girls hanging out in a group. Yeah.
Less drama. I just didn't see to get to that point of, you know.
Yeah. Well, Phil was always kind of like giving inspirational words to Marvin. Like that was just the first time they showed it.
And Dawn said too, like I kind of feel like I'm Marvin's big brother. Like I take on the big brother role. So Marvin obviously was seeing these people as extensions of his family, as his brothers, and as he was losing them, which he's not used to because he's always with all of his family and friends. That's how I know
they go into the next house.
It's tougher
They're
for
still
him.
on the show.
So it's a different house altogether.
I can't say.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
It's like the back house.
the guest house.
They get the hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we finally get to the judging of all of these pictures of like the Greek goddess look with the paint thrown at them. So it's such a opposite end of the spectrum here because they're so like dignified and classy in this like Greek goddess look, and then all of a sudden it's like paint thrown at you like you're the least dignified ever. So it's dignified to least dignified, but
still look cool.
I am so excited because Jordan got 3 10s and I loved her photo. Did you guys love it too?
I did, but I think I liked Renee's better.
Renee, she really stood out to me this week.
I like Renee's too.
She did such a good job. Tyra did her makeup, and Renee was so smart to ask Tyra a lot of questions about what to do and how
figuring out her face angle.
Yeah, yeah, which is different for every model, as you know.
Yeah.
Different angles for everyone work.
Have you been practicing, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
In the mirror.
So what's your
runway too?
Oh yeah, the runway's on point now.
Are you gonna show us? Oh,
maybe.
Okay.
Everybody always comes. Everybody asks me about that. Yeah.
Every single.
They're like, I want to see your runway. I'm like.
You're like, you're gonna have to pay me.
Yeah.
This isn't free.
It's not on demand. Runway on demand. It's a whole other episode.
Oh my goodness.
I did like Jordan's picture, and I liked how her neck was. You could see it. It was it stood out in the picture. Mm-hmm. I liked the color they chose. But I think Renee really shined in this contest and this photo shoot. It was just a little upsetting for me not to see her get the best photo. Just because we've seen Jordan, have the best photo over and over again.
But Tyra did give Renee a 10, at least. And she gave Jordan a 10. Jordan got all 10.
I agree. I do think that Renee, really, really stepped up her game on this one, and she should have gotten best photo.
I agree. Because, Jordan always does a good job, and so that's no disrespect to her. But, it's time to give someone else the best photo. Come on.
When we're tired of Jordan staring at her picture. But I
can't believe that's me. But she is sort of owning it now. Like, Jordan in the beginning didn't really understand that she was so pretty and that she was so, model-esque and elegant, and now she's figuring it out, which is good. But I guess it seems like she's, into herself. But I don't know if it's that or if she's just starting to see herself in a different way.
No, I think she's gone, more humble, as I was saying in the beginning. Now she understands the competition. Mm-hmm. She understands she can't be so, I want to call her naive. Just because.
Well, yeah, she's like 18 years old, okay. So of course she's naive.
Mike, what's your take on Jordan?
I like Jordan. Jordan's great.
Is she kind of full of herself, or is she more humble? What are we getting versus how she really is?
It looks like that a little bit, but if you actually talk to her, she's just like a country girl from Oregon who likes country music and likes to hang outdoors. She's a pretty down to earth chick.
Okay.
She's great.
Cool to me. I think that they like to.
Oh yeah.
Make it into something that it's not. But then Gianna and Phil get called down as that bottom two. But I forgot to say that Corey gets 2 8s and a 9, so he's close to the top. Jordan gets best photo, then Renee, then Nina. Nina did a good job too. I think all of this comes down to, I think this photographer was really good at giving direction and the models like responded really well.
He knew what he wanted.
Yes.
And he tried to relay that to us.
I could see that in the pictures. I think that
each photographer was different as far as how they communicated with everybody.
So is this? Am I saying it right? Is it Ito or Udo?
It's Udo.
Udo. Excuse me. Udo. I like your work. Thank you. And so it's Jordan, Renee, Nina, Chris. So Chris actually does the best out of the guys. Then Corey, Dawn, Marvin. So Phil and Gianna are standing there, and Gianna is so scared. She's like shaking. I don't know if she's crying, but it looks like she might cry.
Oh, she
was crying.
Yeah. I'm like, at some point she was crying. At some points it looked like she was about to fall apart. But they put up that score, and Gianna got the lowest score, so she was sent home. But I did not agree with that. I was kind of shocked. What about you guys?
I'm looking at her picture on my phone, and it's horrible just because of her face. I think her body and the splash of the paint, it's great, but the way she has her mouth open, it just seems like a blank stare.
It was an awkward picture.
I feel like they chose a horrible picture, though. I saw
feel
some
like it could have been better
shots as we were watching with her, because her face was looking really beautiful against that dark. I mean, I think she has a beautiful face, but they just chose like the worst picture.
And in my opinion, she does look like a guest model from like the 90s. She definitely does. Like with those big hoop earrings. Oh, yeah. Like she looks like that look to me.
She is quintessential guest girl.
So hopefully she'll still get to work for them.
But comparing it to Phil, I didn't see anything about his picture that
I thought it was
really bad.
Terrible.
And I didn't like his.
And it wasn't a good angle either. He turned to the side and looked like he had a pooch.
Out. And he looked so feminine, and
it was not good.
It was like girly baby Jesus.
But before we get to the predictions, can one of you guys just tell everybody listening about Cereal Buddies?
Yes. Guys, you definitely have to check out Cereal Buddies. Go to iTunes, buy it. Maria Menounos is in it. Kevin Undergaro, too. It's super funny. It's kind of like Dumb and Dumber with the twist. So check it out. Support us. It keeps the lights on here. We appreciate you if you do.
And we also appreciate you guys supporting us on iTunes, rating and commenting on us. Also with YouTube, all that stuff. We love reading the comments and your feedback. So keep that up. And
give us 5 stars.
Please. I think we're worthy of it.
Yes.
I think you deserve a 5.
Especially since we got Mike Scocozza on today.
Yeah, hello.
You know what I want to see? I want to see all the guys back in here helping us host the finale.
Oh!
How about that?
Yes.
How about you pull some strings?
Putting that out there to you guys. So what do you guys think for next week? Who do you think might be going home? You already know, so I don't know if we can do you.
And now,
you could give us clues. Give us like three different names.
Predictions.
No, I can't give away anything. Just pay attention to what's been happening.
Yeah, I mean, Phil's been in the bottom. He's had he's just so erratic. I really like him, though. I love the beard. I wish he'd go further, but I have a feeling that maybe he's going home.
I think he could be in trouble also.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because I think he's hilarious, and I think that
I don't want him to go.
Brought a lot of fun to the show, but I guess because of the recent scores, I would say Phil might be going home. And I think Renee or Nina might get the top photo next time. They're like battling it out.
I have to say, well, I'm going to make a prediction of who's going to win and who's going home next week.
Ooh,
just because.
Go for it.
I think Phil's going to go home. I agree with you. I'm a little scared about Marvin going home as well,
Marvin.
But I'm going to keep my fingers crossed so he doesn't.
He's a great model.
And even though I think everyone should get a fair chance, in the pictures and so forth, getting the top photo, I really do think Jordan's going to win.
I think she's a top contender. I think Jordan's the top girl, and Dawn is the top guy.
Yes.
I'm hoping that a guy wins, on the show.
I want a guy to win. I don't know if there's a guy that's actually worthy at this point, to be honest, but I'd like for a guy to win.
So, Mike, can you please
we have a comeback episode.
Yeah.
Hello.
I keep forgetting that you might come back. So
I meant to say I want Mike to win.
Comes back, I want him to win, of course.
That's sweet.
So, well, you're very talented. So, where can everyone find you online?
Online, it's just my name. It's Mike Scocozza, SCOCOZZA.com. Twitter, Mike Scocozza. Instagram, Mike Scocozza. YouTube, Mike Scocozza.
You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at The Runway Queen. And what about you, Brooke?
You can find me on Twitter at Brooke Chavez, LA.
And you guys find me on Twitter and Instagram at Real McKay.
Thank you for listening, Top Model fans. See you next time.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.